Dude, what do you think about Ryan Garcia's performance against Duarte?
All right, so here, let me say this. Chris Mannix had pointed out when he started doing that shoulder roll, had pointed out that he said he had a hurt rib after the fight against Tank Davis. And so the thing is the shoulder roll to protect the rib. I'm not even gonna call it the shoulder roll. That's too much respect for what he was doing.
Way too much respect. You get respect.
And I'm not showing off because it's you. And I respect him and I appreciate him, but that move, unrehearsed, just didn't make sense. It's like a comedian. It was like a comedian that goes on stage without a complete set. You all over the place, bruh. We don't know when to laugh. We don't know what's gonna happen with what you're setting up. You know?
Wait. I got a different perspective. A slightly different perspective.
So, no. My question. I gotta ask the question.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you think he was protecting the rib, or did you think he's didn't want to get hit there?
No, I think it was like an awkward dance where I don't think he was protecting the rib. I think it's just like if somebody's trying to dance and can't dance, like, hey, do the Cabbage Patch. Like, what the hell is he doing? Well, that's how he moved. I think that's how he was moving. And it looked awkward because
he was doing a backwards cabbage patch. He wasn't doing it like he was going in. He was.
So listen. I don't. You're asking, hey, is he hurt? Is he? No, I think that's how bad his shoulder roll was.
Listen, he said he's never practiced that, and he just did it.
Yeah. Yeah,
he just did it. So with that in my mind, this is what I translate that to: PTSD, and I don't want to get hit there. So unconsciously, this is what I'm gonna do so that I don't get hit there. I think he just didn't want to get hit there.
That makes sense. Okay, well,
I just think he didn't want to get hit there.
Well, here's my perspective on it. I think he was in danger no matter what. When I was watching that fight, when he was at a distance, his offense was better, yes, but his defense wasn't that much better than the Tootsie Roll, bruh. No disrespect, but I saw him get hit and do the same exact move he did against Luke Campbell. He pushed out both his hands and he leaned straight back. And if Duarte was a half an inch deeper, he would have went to sleep.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That hook that he had through.
Yeah, and Duarte was a big guy walking through his punches, walking them down, and I think it was scary from a distance. I think he felt a little bit of a safe zone inside, at least for the moment, even when it was a Tootsie Roll, at least for the moment, and then he went back on the distance and it threw Duarte off just enough to catch him. So it was kind of brilliant in a sense, kind of hiding all his flaws, his glaring flaws he had defensively, which he showed on the outside and the inside.
In retrospect, just kind of thinking about it, and let me say this too. I want this to be public. I hope we aren't saying anything that's gonna hurt us getting an interview with him next week. I was trying to set something up with him next week, and it kind of is what it is if we don't get an interview at this point. But I just have to make this understood that this is what I told Red Owl Boxing. I told them, I said, I'm the cheat code. Anything y'all need to know, anything y'all want to know, how the business moves over here in the States, I'm your guy. I will give you what I know so that what you guys do can be the best. I want to be a part of the best. I've agreed to commentate for you guys. The best thing that I can do is make sure that I cover my ass before I get ringside and y'all put people in the ring. Let me make sure that, whatever I can offer, I'm the cheat code. I said, cool, no problem. So the same thing in this respect. I'm the cheat code because I've been here so many times. I'm the cheat code because I've been around so many other fighters that won't say something publicly, but will tell me in confidence, or when it won't say something publicly, but then I hear them having another conversation. I'm like, oh, that's what was really going on. You know what I mean? So saying all that to say, the movement that with that pullback that he does with the extension of the hands, I don't want to get hit, but I don't have a defensive technique to not get hit. This is all muscle memory and athleticism, and this is what's worked so many times, so I'm going to do it. Pulling straight back with the hands out is probably the most amateur thing that a fighter can do outside of moving around a lot and or the punching with speed and no power. Those are probably the three most amateur things you could do in the boxing ring. Punch very fast without sitting down on any punches and delivering some hard stuff. Moving around the ring without knowing how to stop, drop punches, moving around the ring without knowing how to turn the guy and put him against the ropes and take advantage of those moments and things like that. And then the third most amateur thing you can do in the boxing ring, and that's no order, but pulling straight back, just like that. Any fighter you see doing that now, you go and look at his record. He either don't got a lot of fights or he just became a professional. You don't see
who responsibility is that? Who is that? Derrick James?
Oh, absolutely. So guess what? Derrick probably didn't see that in training. But the other side of that, if he did, the other side of that is just what Ryan said. Oh, I never trained to do that before. I just did it tonight. He did some shit the other night that he just don't do.
Right.
And when you do things that you don't normally do, it's signs that you are uncomfortable. It's signs that you are a little bit out of your mind, for the sake of words, and you're just reacting. You're reactive. Right. You know what I mean? And then, the thing that we know about life is called self-preservation. Whatever I can do to preserve myself. And that was what he chose to do,
Okay. He has real power, though.
Oh, 100. What?
Real power. So what I'm saying is he has gotten pretty far based on his God-given gifts. You know what I mean? He has gotten pretty far. And then there are fighters. We know a few with Prince Nazim. I mean, a few people who are just, and then when that kind of my favorite fighter ever, Roy Jones.
When gonna say Roy.
Yeah, when those things kind of go just waver a little bit, or you go up against opposition that when Roy threw that punch and leaned back, most fighters he fought got shell shocked by his speed or whatever. Tarver said shit, and I don't know if it's because he fought him a million times in amateurs or whatever happened. He was comfortable. He knew he was going to go all the way in, and that Roy was going to lean all the way back, and he knocked him out. What I'm saying is, I'm not sure of Ryan Garcia's level. Duarte looked dangerous Saturday. Him calling out Rolly makes sense, right? Rolly would be one of those guys that I think, we saw their sparring session. Is that the level Ryan's on until he start getting more time, just more and more time with Derrick? He's young, but he's not a baby. I really need to know, where is Ryan Garcia? I have a lot of hopes for him, but really, where is he?
Here's one thing that I know about fighters. When you winning helps you forget the mistakes. Winning disguises what's wrong. And so a lot of times it takes a fighter losing a fight for him to really just stop, sit back, and really dissect himself and, analyze himself and say, all right, yeah, I need to fix that. You know what I mean? So I really don't think it's a matter of him taking a loss. What I do think it is, which could be a humongous disconnect, but mentally he has to be able to connect to the things that are being taught. Once, and my dad has said this about me too. I can teach it to you, but when we go to the ring on fight night, you can't leave that shit at the gym. What are we working for? You got to take it to the fight. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. You can be improving and let's stellar, but there's a disconnect there. That disconnect is going to be mental. When you can perform, do things the way that they're supposed to be done in training, and then when you get into the fight, the heat, things like that, it's the same thing as war. That person that forgets their technique is the person that dies in war. The person who does not follow the script in war is the one who usually does not come back from the war. You know what I mean? Wow. So it's the same thing in this regard. And I think that that's why people really love this sport.